Welcome to this session on ratio, proportion and variation. This is the part 1 of this session, and we will look at the very basic concepts related to ratio and proportion. So next, what is a ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two like quantities or two similar quantities. So you can compare apples with apples, you can compare oranges with oranges, but you cannot compare apples with oranges. So as I already told you, ratio is a comparison of like quantities. For example, Ram has 2 apples as depicted in the visual there, and Sham has 3 apples again as depicted. So the ratio of Ram's apples to Sham's apples is 2:3, and we represent it as 2:3 as shown there on your screens. It implies that Ram's apples are 2/5 of the entire lot, or Ram has 2/5 of the entire apples, and Sham has 3/5 of the entire lot of apples. Now there are two other interpretations of ratios. If the ratio of milk and water in a vessel is 3:4, then interpretation 1, the quantity of milk is equal to 3K. The ratio of milk is 3, so quantity of milk is 3K. Similarly, the quantity of water is 4K. The ratio of water is 4, the quantity is 4K. So remember, the quantities of milk and water are multiples of 3 and 4 respectively, represented as 3K and 4K. Similarly, interpretation number 2, from 7 units of mixture, there are 3 units of milk and there are 4 units of water. So these are two important interpretations of ratios. So let us solve a very simple question based on whatever we have seen so far. Divide 10 in the ratio of 2:3. You can see there are 10 apples there. So we know that first part is 2/5 of the total. So 2/5 of the total quantity is 10, which is equal to 4. 4 apples belong to the first part. The second part is 3/5 of the total, that is 3/5 of 10, which is equal to 6. And you see that 6 apples belong to the second part. So now let us solve a couple of questions based on whatever we have learned so far. So we have the first question. A and B share their father's property in the ratio 3:4. What part is the share of A and what is its value in percentage? So we have A and B and their share of their father's property is in the ratio 3:4. Now we need to calculate part of A's share. Part of A's share is nothing but A share divided by A share plus B share. So let us calculate that. So what is A share? So we know that when A as to B is in the ratio 3:4, A's share can be termed as 3K, and this divided by the sum of A's share, that is 3K and 4K. So on simplifying this, we will get the value of A's share is 3/7. We can also call this as the fraction of A's share. Now the value of A's share in percentage, so percentage of A's share is equal to the part or fraction of A's share multiplied by 100. So that is equal to 3/7 multiplied by 100. So percentage of A's share is nothing but 300/7 percentage. So we have the next question here. If 2/5 of the total assignment was done by Ranbir, what fraction of the assignment was done by Karina if they did the assignment together? So generally, the sum of all parts or all fractions is equal to 1. So we should have fraction of work done by Ranbir plus fraction of work done by Karina is equal to 1. So if the 2/5 of the total assignment was done by Ranbir, so we can write 2 by 5 plus, let us assume that the fraction of work done by Karina is equal to k, must be equal to 1. And on simplifying this, we will get the value of k as 1 minus 2 by 5, or k, that is the fraction of work done by Karina, is equal to 3 upon 5. Next, so we have another question. A man divided his income on rent, food and savings. If 3/8 of the total income is savings and 1/4 of the total income is spent on rent, what is the ratio of 3 heads of income? So there are 3 heads of income. The first one is rent, the next is food, and finally we have savings. So we should know that expenditure on rent, or the parts spent on rent, plus the part spent on food, plus the part spent on savings, the sum must be equal to 1. So we have 3/8 spent on savings, plus we have 1/4 of the income spent on rent. Therefore, the part spent on food can be easily calculated, and if you calculate this, you will get the value of part spent on food as 3 by 8. So the ratio of amount spent on rent, food and savings is 1 by 4 as to 3 by 8 as to 3 by 8. So what is the ratio of the 3 heads? The ratio of the 3 heads can be calculated easily as 2 as to 3 as to 3. So with this we come to an end of our session. If you wish to watch more videos, please log on to www.pfindia.com. If you wish to ask a query or a doubt, you can write to us at studentservices@pfindia.com. And if you're watching this video on our website, please use the Ask a Doubt feature to raise your queries. Thank you very much.